Hello, everyone. This is Chaim Durst, the Wordmuse. Thank you for joining me today. Today's topic is pitfalls. What to avoid when you write your personal statement. Well, the first is sounding arrogant. Too many students try to sound good by touting accomplishments or awards or something that is stellar in their record. Well, by doing so, in your personal statement, you often come off as sounding weak or arrogant. Keep in mind, there are many places to put those types of awards or accomplishments in your overall application. You have your activity section, you have your awards section, you have your additional essay section, you have your supplemental essays for each school, and you have your personal statement. Your personal statement should be about your identity, not your activities. Another thing to avoid is your volunteer work. Over the years, the most cringy essays that I've read, the ones that just cause my stomach just to tighten up, are ones that talk about volunteer work. I will not allow my students to write about volunteer work. Keep in mind, there are probably 25, 30,000 students applying to your dream school along with you. So if you write about volunteer work, you're likely to get lost among the thousands of other students who are writing about the same topic. That is one of the most commonly written about topics because students are under the mistaken impression that it makes them sound good. It doesn't, because it doesn't often reveal much about your identity. Now again, there is a place in your application to write about volunteer work, probably in your activities, maybe in your extracurricular essay for one of your supplements, but not in your personal statement. The next thing to avoid are cliche topics, such as art and music. Again, you're going to get lost among the thousands of other students who are writing about those sort of cliche topics. You want to sound unique. You want to be unique. You want to present yourself as someone that is attractive, a singular individual. And the way to do so is by avoiding cliche topics. If you have to write about art or music, I recommend you do so from a very unique perspective. For example, this year, one of my students chose to write about art, but they wrote about it from the perspective of a installation that they had created, looking back at them. By doing so, they show self-knowledge and they show a certain level of depth that it's hard to convey if you just talk about art per se. So I'm going to give you an example of an essay of a student who came to me who insisted about writing about music. I said, okay, if you have to, then you have to shift the point of view and write about it from the perspective of the instrument, not from you. So here we go. Is my memory too shallow to forget your frustrating attempts to elicit joy from my unwilling metal? You pluck me roughly, abrade me, and then expect me to create beautiful music? Look at the wonderful shift of the pronouns there to you. If you've been following my videos, you'll know that you is one of the pronouns that I recommend students use throughout your essay. I was created to play second fiddle, it seems, yet I want to lead, burst out of this fog of low harmonics and lead your heart into directions of my own choosing. So instead of saying, well, Dad, I want to take more of a leadership role in the family. Mom, I want to be able to take care of you, take care of the family in certain ways. Instead of saying, I want to do this, it's expressing those same emotions from the point of view of the instrument, which, again, talks about the writer's involvement with art, but does so in a very creative, singular fashion. I've always been a reluctant follower, at best. Truculent is more like it. Follow your nature and follow, you implore. I have enough insight into my inner workings to know the best sound for me, and it's not this. Again, I talk about the importance of demonstrating self-knowledge, and this does just that. And look at the use of the repetition there. Follow your nature and follow. So it creates this train that's moving along the tracks. Love repetition. Have you noticed how adept I've become at adapting to cacophony? Again, look at the off rhyme there, adept and adapt. You say leave the extemporizing to the solo artist, yet I've been here all along, riffing in an unobtrusive way. I'd be content to continue if only you'd pause from your head banging. Just once, notice all I do for you, for the family, Father. Aha, now this sudden shift where the individual is revealing what the true nature of this essay is about, the tension they feel with a parental figure. You load me with your unfulfilled dreams and try to achieve them. Feel new vitality vicariously through me. Vitality vicariously. But your heavy hand, again, that nice alliteration on my heart, stifles my ability to resonate your laughter, what little is left. Would that I could make sound without you. If you go back and read this out loud, you'll see that the sounds that the writer is generating are meant to mimic the musical instrument that he's playing. That level of depth will move the reader and convey insights about your level of intelligence and heart. But you know I can't, so your threats to withdraw your hand and leave me empty ring true. Even if the symbiosis of our relationship ties me tight, I'll always be the one that makes the sound, even if you're the one manipulating me. So here's an example of, even though it's written about a musical instrument, it's really about his relationship with his father. But it still conveys his love of music and his mastery of sound. So for supplemental essays, so keep in mind you have your personal statement and you have your supplemental essays and you have your activities section and your awards section, and you even have an extra essay section for additional information, extenuating circumstances. So writing about accomplishments in those other sections is fine. Just don't do so in your personal statement. Furthermore, writing about your major is okay in other sections, but it's not appropriate to write about in your personal statement. For that reason, I do not let students write about topics that directly apply to their major. Think about this. If you write about topics that pertain exactly to your major, what are you going to write about in your Y major essay? You're going to end up stuck. You're going to trap yourself. So give yourself the freedom and know that, okay, if I walk into a gallery, there's the main masterpiece, which is going to be my personal statement. And then I'll have my supplemental essays on one side. I have my Y major on this side. I'm going to have my Y school essay on that side. I'm going to have my community essay on this side. So each one of those paintings makes up a holistic image of you. So you're creating a gallery, a portfolio of writing, not just one piece. So keep that in mind and don't feel so eager to jam all of these gems into one personal statement. So again, things to avoid. Don't talk about accomplishments. Don't talk about awards that you've won. You have space to do that elsewhere. Don't talk about volunteer work. Please don't write about cliche topics. And if you have to, write about them from a unique perspective and avoid talking about your major. So these are some of the pitfalls to avoid when writing your personal statement. Thank you for joining me. My name is Chaim Durst, and I am the Wordmuse.